You and I know motorcycling can be dangerous, but we also know it's a hell of a lot of fun. So we do the math, the good old risk-reward equation, before we throw on our helmets and head out into the jungle. Unfortunately, that equation is shifting, and it's not in our favor. It's bad enough that half the drivers on the road are more focused on their phones than the 3,000-pound missiles they're supposed to be steering. But now, technology is introducing a new wild card: autonomous vehicles. I'll call them AVs. Yeah, the cars that are supposed to make the roads safer might actually be the next big hazard for motorcyclists. AVs, often touted as the future of road safety, pose a serious and underappreciated threat to bikers. As the technology develops and the manufacturers push for mass adoption, bikers and lawmakers need to be aware of the risks these driverless cars can introduce. In this video, I'll suggest ways motorcyclists can manage these risks until car makers and lawmakers get their shit together. AV enthusiasts will tell you that self-driving cars will eliminate accidents caused by human error. In theory, that sounds fantastic. Humans are often distracted, tired, or just plain bad drivers, all of which contribute to thousands of motorcycle accidents each year. But AVs are like overconfident teenagers, with sensors for eyes and AI for a brain. What could go wrong with that? Well, let's have a look. You'd think AVs would be programmed to detect motorcycles, right? Well, sort of. Their sensors are mainly trained to recognize big, boxy things: cars, trucks, buses. But motorcycles are like the elusive Bigfoot of the road. Due to their smaller size and unique movement patterns, they're often harder for AV systems to identify, especially in poor lighting or adverse weather. Take LiDAR, for example. Many AVs use LiDAR to map their surroundings. It's great at picking up large objects, but a bike might slip through the gaps of its perception, especially in bad weather. And let's not forget intersections, where motorcycles are already at high risk. AVs struggling to recognize bikers in these scenarios is not a comforting thought. Another major concern is the atypical nature of motorcycle movements. Unlike larger vehicles, motorcycles are agile and maneuverable in ways that AVs might struggle to recognize. We can easily move through traffic. We lean through turns, we accelerate faster than most cars, and in some places we can split lanes. A human driver, even one who isn't a rider themselves, can often recognize a biker's intent based on body position, head movements, or subtle lane adjustments. AVs lack this ability. Their decision-making processes are based on algorithms that may not fully grasp the fluidity of motorcycle riding. And then there's the classic left turn scenario, one of the top causes of motorcycle crashes. A human driver might hesitate when unsure of an approaching bike speed, but an AV might rely solely on cold hard math to predict it, failing to account for last-second acceleration or braking by the biker. If that equation is off by a fraction, well, good luck. Let's say an AV has to make a split-second decision in an unavoidable crash. Does it hit the motorcycle, the pedestrian, or the minivan full of kids? Many AV algorithms rely on a greater good approach, which often favors the safety of the greatest number of people. Human drivers might react on instinct, maybe even swerve to avoid a biker. But AVs use cold logic. If an AV determines that swerving to avoid a motorcycle would put more people at risk, it might choose a path that results in a collision with the rider, making them a lower priority in life and death decisions, without the luxury of crumple zones and airbags. And just like that, you're a loser in a game of AI Russian roulette. This isn't just hypothetical. There have been plenty of real-world incidents that highlight AV struggles to safely interact with motorcycles. In 2018, a self-driving Uber killed a pedestrian because it failed to recognize them in time. In another case, Tesla's autopilot system struggled to detect a stopped motorcycle on the highway, resulting in a fatal crash. Reports from bikers say AVs sometimes follow too closely, hesitate unpredictably, or just plain ignore motorcycles. Until they can prove they can reliably see us, we're stuck in the danger zone. In a world where AVs are common, who's responsible when one takes out a biker? The car owner? The manufacturer? The software developer? That'll be a new mess in every jurisdiction. And let's talk about insurance. We motorcyclists already get hammered with high rates. If AV-related crashes spike, insurers might jack up prices or refuse coverage altogether. Not because our riding is unsafe, but because AI can't be trusted to drive responsibly around us. So what can we bikers do? Given these risks, we need to take proactive measures and protect ourselves. As ever, stay visible. High-vis gear and bright headlights might help AV sensors detect you sooner. Maintain safe distances. Assume that an AV might not see you, and keep a buffer zone whenever you can. Avoid blind spots. Just like with human drivers, AVs have areas where their sensors might not detect smaller objects like motorcycles. Ride especially defensively. Be extra cautious at intersections and around AVs when you can spot them, assuming they may not react as a human driver would. And advocate for better regulations. If we bikers want to keep our right to ride safely, we must demand that AV developers, regulators, and lawmakers ensure motorcycles are factored into the future of transportation, not treated as expendable obstacles. Please let your elected reps know how you feel. I'm sure the makers of AVs are well aware of the challenges we bikers cause their technology, but we're just one of the countless obstacles their imperfect machines are trying to avoid in real time. It would be great if all AV engineers could commute on motorcycles for a week, so they could experience firsthand the terror of sharing their personal space with a much larger vehicle under the control of their glitchy code. But since that's not possible, it would help if all AVs had external lights that indicate they're in self-driving mode, like the turquoise lights that Mercedes is testing in the US now. That way, we bikers could spot those vehicles that might suddenly take a run at us for reasons only Elon Musk pretends to understand. I love technology. I really do. And I can appreciate the benefits we'd all reap from a world full of competent, self-driving cars. But AVs are not ready for prime time when it comes to motorcyclists. All technology takes time to mature, and this technology in particular has the capability to put millions of lives at risk, so it shouldn't be rushed from the laboratory to the mass market before it's ready. We bikers didn't sign up to be crash test dummies in Silicon Valley's latest experiment. For all their promise of safety, autonomous vehicles create new risks that could prove deadly for bikers. AV technology is still evolving, but right now it's not yet reliable enough to safely coexist with motorcycles on the road. Until manufacturers and lawmakers prioritize biker safety and AV development, motorcyclists can expect the perils of our hobby to grow. Stay safe, my friends, and thanks for watching.